Hello. Hello! In this video we are looking at the Trident Realms for Kings of War Vanguard. They are in essence fish people, but that's putting it a bit simple. You've got kind of three sects which kind of makes up the Trident. You've got the Naiads, which are essentially fish people. You've got the River Guard, which are basically frog and toad folk. And then you've got the Pachyderms, which I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right. I'm not sure if they're aquatic lizards or what, but that's how I see it. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it anyway. So, starting with the Warband special abilities, we have Rising Tides. Needs 1 power to use. Uses ability when you activate a model. The model may either add 2 to its speed stat until the end of the round, or if it is knocked down, it may stand up for free. This ability may be used any number of times around, which is nice. It's actually pretty cheap to use, only using 1 power. If you're knocked down, you get up for no cost, so you can do whatever actions you want essentially, which is nice. Does use power to use, so there's a downside there, I guess. But adding 2 to your speed can be quite useful. Gets you in combat quicker or gets you where you need to be a lot quicker. There's that. So next we have the specific spells, starting with Crushing Pressure. It's long, 6-inch range, 3d8, piercing 1. If the target suffers any wounds, they are pinned in place and cannot make a walk or run actions for the rest of the round, which is nice. Use the spell to stop someone and then maybe do a group charge depending on the target. There's options there. Or maybe just shoot at them a lot if you want. It's not bad. Even if it didn't have the secondary effect, 6-inch range, 3d8 piercing 1, that's pretty good in fairness. Riptide, which is long, 9-inch range. Target an enemy model even if it is engaged. The model is moved 3 inch, as directly as far as possible, away from the caster, making armor rolls if forced to break away as normal, which is really nice. You're forcing enemies to move out and that can be painful. If it fails, the model must then make a nerve test. If it fails, it is knocked down. Models with steady may roll to avoid this as normal, which is always good. It's a nice ability. It could be a lot more effective than Crushing Pressure, because if it brings them out to combat and their armor save is terrible, then that's going to hurt. But yeah, both have uses, I think. Both. So starting with the grunts, we have the Otter Bevy, 10 points, 40mm base, speed 6, melee 4, range none. Armor 7, Nerve 7, 3 wounds, height 1. Vicious and Swarm, 2d8 in melee, none at range. It's just a cheap load of little otters, which I'm assuming you get on the sprues for Naiads. Someone put in the comments if I'm right. 3 wounds isn't bad, hitting on 4s, which is pretty decent considering what type of unit it is. Its armor and nerve is cack, but being height 1, at least you can hide behind things somewhat. It's on a 40mm base. So that could be a bit of an issue, but for 10 points you're not really expecting that much. Next we have the Naiad Initiate, 10 points, 20mm base, speed 6, melee 5, range 6, armor 6, nerve 5, 1 wound, height 2. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range, comes with a trident. Chiron's Blessing. While within 6-inch of 1 or more friendly water elementals, this model has its armor value improved by 1. For example, 6 plus becomes 5 plus. Not bad. Trident. A model hits with this weapon is marked as fatigued. I've no idea why the initiate doesn't come with regeneration like most naiads have, but hey ho. I mean, what's it got? Melee of 5, nerve of 5. It's got Trident and the Karen's Blessing for yeah, okay, it's about spot on for 10 points. I think it's about right. So the warriors then, starting with the Thul, which are kind of like halflings if they've got squid heads. 12 points, 20mm base, speed 5, melee 3, range 7, armor 6, nerve 5, 2 wounds, height 2, 2d8 in melee. I'm surprised it hasn't got stealthy or something like that, but hey ho, I guess. For 12 points, that's not bad. Nerve 5 isn't bad. Hitting on 3s in close combat though, even though it's not given anything special. Hitting on 2s, that is fairly decent, gotta say. Next we have the Vanguard, 14 points, 20mm base, speed 6, melee 6, range 5, armor 6, nerve 6, 2 wounds, height 2, pathfinder and stealthy. 2d8 in melee, 2d8 at range. Javelin, which is 9-inch range, got pound. Combined fire, when involved in a group shoot action, Vanguard models add +1 die to their ranged attack roll if one or more other Vanguard models in the group fire at the same target. This includes any Vanguard sentinels in the group. Okay, not bad. Bounder uses 1 power to use. Use this ability when the model is activated. Grants the model fly ability until the end of the round. I'd have thought it come with that as standard, but hey ho. Ranges, yeah. Yeah, for its stats, I'd have thought it come with fly for free. If I'm honest, maybe make either make it a bit cheaper or make it a bit better. Surely its melee should be 5 as well, but that's just me. It is what it is, I guess. Next we have the Naiad Heart Piercer, 14 points, 20mm base, speed of 6, melee of 5, range of 5, armor 6, nerve of 5, 2 wounds, height 2. Got regenerate 7+. 1d8 in melee, 2d8 at range. Has got harpoon gun, which is 9-inch range, piercing 1. I don't know why the initiate hasn't got regeneration, but it is what it is, I guess. Heart Piercer's not bad. Can hit in melee range, not too bad. Armor's a bit of a tough one. But it's got a good range weapon, so I suppose it is kind of worth its points cost. So next we have the support, starting with the Naiad Lurker, 18 points, 20mm base, gives 1 red power die. Speed 6, melee 5, range 5, armor 6, nerve 5, 2 wounds, height 2. Got regeneration 7+, and stealthy. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. Got a trident and a net. Model hit with this weapon, trident, in melee is marked as fatigue. Not bad. Net, breakaway actions from this model are made rolling 2 dice for armor roll rather than normal 1. Each failed roll causes a wound. So you could, if you get really unlucky, potentially could kill yourself or near kill yourself. I mean, what's it got stat wise? Hitting in close combat and at range on 5s. Nerving bad. It's got regeneration. Gives a power dice. I think it's about 2 points too expensive, only because the armor is a bit meh. But apart from that, yeah, okay, as a support, it's not terrible. It gives power dice at least, so you can't say it doesn't give something. Next we have the Pachyderm, and I'll probably pronounce that wrong. Defender, 28 points, 20mm base. Speed 6, melee 4, no range stat, arm 4, nerve 5, 3 wounds, height 2. Defender, stealthy and parry. Oh, steady and parry, sorry. 2d8 in melee, none at range. Fluid defense, while within 2 inches of this model, friendly warrior models have the parry special rule. Not bad. Slam back, which uses 1 power. Use this ability when the model declares a retaliation before dice are rolled. Any hits the retaliation scores are resolved with crushing strength 2. That's pretty good. The armor's good. The melee's good. Nerve isn't bad. It's got 3 wounds, which is nice. the fluid defense. That would be really, really good if you're trying to get them in a group. Maybe even just as a group sort of move sort of thing. The slam back's also going to be very useful as a defensive measure. That's kind of what they are, the Pagdom defenders. They're not really used there as an offensive measure, just a defensive one. Next we have the Riverguard Tree Leaper. 19 points, 20 mil base. Speed 6, melee 4, range 7, armor 6, nerve 5, 2 wounds, height 2. Pathfinder, stealthy, crushing strength 1. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's got death from above. When this model uses its bounder special ability, then performs a qualifying charge action in the same round, it has crush strength 2 in its subsequent melee attack. Use this ability before any dice are rolled, which is nice. Crush strength 2 hitting on 4s, which that's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. It's got bounder, which uses 1 power. Use this ability when the model is activated. Grants this model fly ability until the end of the round, which isn't bad at all. At least death from above does not use any power. At least there's that. It's not much more points than a River Guard. Hits a bit better in close combat. I'd have thought it'd be a bit cheaper. Maybe 2 points cheaper, but it's not terrible. At least you can smash your opponent's armour pretty quickly with this one. Next we have the Naiad Envoy. 24 points, 20 mil base. Speed 6, melee 5, no range stat. Armour 6, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. Unbreakable and bloodlust. No regeneration, which is a bit odd for me, but hey ho. 2d8 in melee, none at range. Kraken's Call. While within 6 inches of this model, all friendly models have the Unbreakable and Bloodlust special rules there. So it's a pretty good support unit. Supporting others. It hasn't got Inspiring. I know it's not a commander, but I'd have thought it would have, to be honest, but that's just me. I think it's a little bit expensive, maybe about 4 points too expensive, because while it doesn't have a bad melee stat and its nerve is great and it's got good support option, it's not really there for combat options. It's merely there for support, really. Let's be honest. Next we have the large, starting with the Riverguard Dam Buster. 35 points, 50 mil base. Speed 5, melee 5. Speed 4, melee 5, range 5, armor 4, nerve 5, 3 wounds, height 3. Cavalry, crush strength 1, regenerate 7+, smash and steady. 3d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's got defensive toxins. In the end phase, any enemy models engaged by the Dam Buster automatically suffer 1 hit with crushing strength 2. That's nasty. Tongue Lash, which uses 2 power to use. Used during the model's turn to make a range attack as follows. Range 9, 2d8. Any model hit by the attack, not wounded, is moved directly the shortest route in base contact with the Dam Buster's front arc and marked as fatigued. The model's front arc and base should be flush with the Dam Buster's. Models that were knocked down remain so. If it is not possible to move the model or it is large, the attack has no effect. So essentially you can either damage or not. Okay. Do you move up to 9 inch towards the Dam Buster, or do you just move an inch for each hit scored? It's not very clear. Needs FAQing. That's badly worded, I think, or missing some words, should I say. Next we have the Giga. 35 points, 40 mil base. Speed 4, melee 4, range none, armor 4, 3, nerve 3, 5 wounds, height 2. Crush strength 2, pound and steady. 3d8 in melee, none at range. Vicious Swipe. When attempting to break away from a Giga, enemy models have a -1 modifier when they make their armor roll, which is pretty good. It's not bad for its points cost. I think it's about right. It's slow, which is its main downfall, but hitting on 4s is good. Crush strength 2, what can go wrong with that? A nerve of 3, it ain't going anywhere again anytime soon, and an armor of 4 and 5 wounds means it's pretty hard to kill. Next we have the Water Elemental. 32 points, 40 mil base. Speed 6, melee 5, no range stat, armor 4, nerve 4, 4 wounds, height 3. Crush strength 2, regenerates 6 plus, 5d8 in melee, none at range. It's a really good large one. I mean, what have we got here? We've got the River Guard, which has got a sort of range attack and has got some support, well, hindering, I don't know what you'd call it actually, continuous effect, sort of, depending on how long they'll start in combat. It's got the cavalry smash roll, which are always nice. Its wounds are a bit low considering the others, and it is a bit slow. Then again, the Gigas is a bit slow, but it has got more wounds, hits more in close combat, got better crushing strength. It's got the vicious swipe, so if you want to run away from it, good luck a bit there. I think the best for me is the Water Elemental. It's the fastest. It's got the most dice in close combat. It's got really good regeneration. Its wounds aren't as high as the Gigas, but its regeneration is a bit better. So, and it's faster, so you can outflank or get where you need to a fair bit quicker. So yeah, I'd take the Water Elemental, but take any one of them. There's options. Next we have the large command. It is the Dambuster Sentinel. 45 points, 50 mil base. Gives 1 white power die. Speed 5, melee 5, range 5, armor 4, nerve 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Cavalry, crush strength 1, regenerate 7 plus, smash, steady, very inspiring, River Guard, all types only. So the tree leapers, the River Guard itself, the River Guard Sentinels, I think that's a command option, is it not? No, River Guard Sentinels on foot is not an option. Okay, fine. 3d8 in melee, 1 at range. Defensive toxins at the end phase. Any enemy models engaged by the Dambuster automatically suffer 1 hit with crush strength 2. Tongue Lash uses 2 power. Used during the model's turn to make a range attack as follows: range 9, 2d8. Any model hit by the attack is not wounded, but is moved directly the shortest route into contact with the Dambuster's front arc and marked as fatigue. This model's front arc and base should be flush with the Dambuster's. Models that were knocked down remain so. If it is not possible to move the model or it is large, the attack has no effect. Right, so this is worded a bit different to the normal Dambuster. It's essentially, if it hits, it moves you. If you can't be moved or it doesn't hit you, or you're large, doesn't work. Doesn't do any damage as normal. So it does need a clarification on how far it moves you, but I think it's suggesting it does move you the full 9 inch if it hits. How many points is the Dambuster? It's 10 points less. So what's it getting more? Nerves a bit better. It's getting a white power die. But apart from that, I'd use normal Dambuster over this. Yes, you're getting a white power die, which is always good. But for those extra 10 points, and it's using both your large choice and a command slot, unless you're using a lot of River Guard units, which if you are doing, go for it, it's worth it. But if you're not, I think it's best left alone. Next we have the Spellcaster. It is the Full Magician, or Mythican even. 26 points, 20 mil base, gives 1 white power die. Speed 5, melee 5, range 5, armor 6, nerve 5, 2 wounds, height 2. Gives inspiring. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's got spells which is Shockwave, which is long, Stun, which is short, and Wind Blast, which is long. It's not bad, it's cheap for a spellcaster, and that's kind of why. Its offensive spells are a bit lacking, but gives a white power die, and it's got shockwave, which you don't see much of. It's got some movement spell with the wind blast, so move enemies where you want somewhat. And then you've got stun, which helps get enemies where you want them, a little bit like wind blast. Stats aren't terrible apart from its armor, obviously, but it's cheap. It's cheap for a spellcaster. That's kind of all I can say about it. Next we have the spellcaster command. It is the mythical aquamage. 40 points, 20 mil base. Gives 1 white power die. Speed 5, melee 5, range 4, armor 5, nerve 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Gives inspiring. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's got chain lightning, which is long, riptide, which is short, and waterlogged, which is long. These are special spells. Yeah, I've not seen any other spellcaster type with any of these spells as it goes. Elemental mastery. You may take 1 additional water elemental in your warband beyond the limit for large models normally allowed in your warband selection rules. In addition, this model may cast its Riptide spell for short action instead of its long action. Okay, so normally Riptide's long, but for this it's short. And if you take a I suppose if you take a load of mythic and aquamages, if you've got enough points left over, you can take a lot of water elementals. The mythic and aquamage is pretty good. It's expensive, yes, but for what it does, it's not bad. Armor's average, range is good, melee's alright, nothing bad, 3 wounds, which isn't bad. Spells are brilliant. Spells are absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's expensive, but if you're able to get the points in and get a few water elementals, I think you'll have paid its points cost quite easily. So next we have the command. It is the Niagara Centurion. 45 points, 20 mil base. Gives 1 blue power die. Speed 6, melee 4, range 4, armor 5, nerve 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Crush strength 1, inspiring, and regeneration 7+. 48 in melee, 2d8 at range. It's got harpoon gun, which is 9-inch range, piercing 1. Battle rage, which uses 2 power to use. If this model can engage an enemy model with a follow-up move, it may engage that model and initiate another melee by using the ability to go into a battle rage. This model may not get any bonus dice for the charging, however. Once this second melee has been resolved, mark this model as fatigued. That's nice. It's like a lot of other berserker type models using a similar sort of thing, which is nice. It's got inspiring, 48 in melee, hitting on 4s, not bad. 2d8 at range, hitting on 4s, again, not bad. Armor's a bit better than most Nards, which can't complain at that. It is expensive, but considering what it can do, I don't think it's bad. Armor's a bit low considering, but it's got some quite good uses. It has got a really nice range attack, so I suppose that does bump the points costs up a fair bit. The Trident Relms wants to do a bit of everything, and it can to an extent. Its range capabilities are good. Its close combat abilities, while a little bit inaccurate, and I do mean a little bit inaccurate, does have some fairly good units, some good crushing strength and whatever else. The main downside of the Trident Relms is its armor value. Its armor value is average to a bit shocking, if to be honest. Its large units do go against that though, and they have got the pachyderms with armor 4, which is nice, but their armor is not great, so you've got to watch out for that. Also, even though their armor is not great, they are not the cheapest force, although saying that, they're cheap units. Everything's got its use, even though stuff's not cheap. You might find you'll be outnumbered a lot of the time, but you'll have some underhanded tactics, chances are, that your opponent will not have. So you've got that going for you. You've got a fair bit of regeneration. Your spellcasters are fantastic. Again, a little bit expensive for some of them, but you get your uses out of them. The dam busters should be repeated here, because that defensive toxins is just ridiculous in its absolute cheekiness. So that's it for the Trident Realms. Goodbye for now.